Manila Meltdown is the 2022 debut album of Paper Satellites under the Lilystar Records Label. Paper Satellites is an indie band influenced by 90s and 2000s music, but the album doesn't really show that much influence from that era. To me, it's more of like 2010s, which is like the golden-like age of indie music. So the album starts off with the intro track, Seafoam, and I really wish they expounded this a bit more into an actual song rather than something that connects to the next song. The jagged guitar riffs and hard-hitting drums catches your ears so much. A bit of a shame. Bakunawa is the next track that follows, and it's alright. I really like the heavy bass on this one, but that's about it. I mean, they expounded their idea from Seafoam, but I'd rather have Seafoam be a fully formed song though. Some of the songs in this album don't really reinvent the wheel all that much. I'm sorry to say, but some of the tracks in this album are generic. So generic that I can name a few bands and artists that sound the same that did it better, like Hippo Campus, Pablo, and Arctic Monkeys to name a few. Mexico has that kind of Latin-ish feel, what with the drums doing the dembow beat, and has summer vibes with the lead synth melody. Dun, 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 dun. I think that's the one. Pretty fun for the most part, but it's one of those generic indie songs that you usually hear in the West. Have Fun Tonight is also generic, but the chorus is pretty fun, especially the drum parts in the chorus. Very dance punk. Golden Age has to be one of their weakest. It's a bit whiny and pretentious in some aspects, like the part where the girl says, "I'm such a mess. Life hates me." But after Golden Age, it transitions to what I think is their best song, Towns. The fast dance-like drums, the funky bass line, and catchy guitar riff does remind me of Two Door Cinema Club though. Slowly, the album gets a little bit better and better though. Some of the ideas are really cool and shows how surprising this band can be. YSGFM is an interesting song. Starts off with the same vibe as every song in the album, but suddenly slows down to this lo-fi style song that features Nes Urian. I think the lo-fi style really suits the band. I wish they expounded it a bit more like Seafoam. Try Again sounds like a song that came from the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World movie soundtrack. It's a slow, chill song, kind of like Smashing Pumpkins. The fuzzy guitars really complement the song. I think more fuzz is needed in my opinion, but I digress. Scene sounds like Mr. Brightside. The lead guitar riff just really reminds me of that song and it just won't stop. But then it sort of explodes almost at the end, which is a nice touch on the band's part. Spinning at the first part sounds like Two Door Cinema Club and then turns slow halfway through. It's an alright track with some catchy guitar riffs. I think Paper Satellites are very good when it comes to like the slow, lo-fi style of music. Then Coming Home comes by and I'm not sure what to think about it. Its vibe is something I've heard before, but at the same time I can't really explain. On My Way is a pretty fun track also. Same vibe as Coming Home for me. I think this is one of the better songs the band has written. Funny enough, I thought Slowdown would be a slow way to end the album, much like what albums I've reviewed so far have done. But it's actually a normal paced song that talks about how life is tiring. The sudden explosion of the fuzz guitars give the song this angst, kind of like you scream from the top of your lungs angst. The the I'm tired kind of angst. Such a surprise. This album has its ups and downs. Besides some of the generic songs and the numerous band references that I mentioned, another downside was how long the album was. It did not have to be 50 minutes long to establish that you're indie. And the vocals and how the words are sung are a bit weird to me, because all of the vocals can fit to any song off of the album, and I won't be able to remember much of what it sounded like, if that makes sense. But progressively, it gets a little bit better and better each time musically. What keeps the songs interesting are the production and the drums. The production is very clean and posh, but at the same time, I think it's too clean, and it doesn't have that indie charm that a lot of album productions have. The drums are very good though, and keeps the songs interesting at least. But did I enjoy this album? A little bit, yeah. Would I recommend this album to OPM listeners? Sure. 6 out of 10. But it's just all opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe. Goodbye.